These are the Pittsburgh Steelers. Normally, they play their home games in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. But on this day, they're playing a home game in Dublin, Ireland. And based on the crowd size, you'd have no idea that you were at Acrisure Stadium. If football is a wholly American sport, why does the NFL schedule 7 regular season games outside of the country? And why would someone fly 5,200 miles to watch an American football game in an Irish soccer stadium? Well, I flew 5,200 miles to find out. But first, a history lesson. While American football has dominated United States sports since the 1950s, the NFL has been looking to expand to the international market since it first held a preseason international series in 1986. In 2005, the Arizona Cardinals and the San Francisco 49ers played the first regular season game outside of the US in Mexico City. And in 2007, the NFL launched the International Series in London. Now, they hold at least 4 games a year outside of the US. Also, apologies for all of the stock footage and cartoons on this one, guys. The NFL is a very large, very wealthy organization, and I don't want to get sued. Speaking of money, there's a lot of it on the line. In 2024, the NFL reportedly generated more than $23 billion in revenue, with a goal to grow to $25 billion by 2027. So how do you grow? Well, you can charge more, or you can sell more. And with an already saturated US market, the NFL has chosen to look abroad. Now, here's a weird one for you US NFL fans. The most popular NFL team on the international level is the Jacksonville Jaguars. They have played every year in London since 2013, which has earned them like a hometown loyalty. But it's great for the Jags because thanks to their deal with the NFL, they get to retain complete revenue control over their international games, which bags them somewhere between $35 and $50 million in revenue every time they go to London. So yeah, you can see why a team might want to play an international game. There's enormous economic opportunity there. And not just for the team, but also for the city. Back in 2023, NFL head of Europe and Asia Pacific, Brett Gosper, reported that a city could see an additional $40 million from hosting an NFL game, saying that they're like mini Super Bowls in those markets. Now, back to the Dublin game. Putting the Steelers in Dublin was the stuff of PR dreams, because the Steelers have deep roots in Ireland. In the 1840s, James and Mary Rooney emigrated from Newry in County Down to Canada, and eventually they settled in Pittsburgh. Their grandson, Arthur Rooney Sr., paid $2,500 to establish the Pittsburgh Pirates franchise in 1933, which later became the Pittsburgh Steelers. So, putting the Steelers and their Irish roots in Dublin put the poor Vikings at a disadvantage, because Steeler Nation was ready to travel. Now, for a travel addict like me, a football game was a great reason to see a new city while still feeling the camaraderie and community of home. In Dublin, the NFL had their marketing genius on full display. They had activations set up throughout the city. You could see all of the championship rings and trophy in a display at City Hall. There were NFL Pro Shops waiting to take your money. Even the airport and the bars and the shops were all decked out with balloons and posters. At the end of the day, football is really about family. And that's why I flew 5,200 miles to watch the Pittsburgh Steelers battle the Vikings, because it was with my mom, my dad, and my brother. We may live in San Diego, California now, but thanks to my dad's roots near the steel mills of Pittsburgh, my family bleeds black and yellow. So when the NFL announced that the Steelers would be playing in Ireland, my mom immediately signed us up for the ticket lottery. And while you can buy tickets to the international games, the easiest way to make these trips happen is to sign up with a tour package. That's how we ended up purchasing with On Location, a company that holds the VIP hospitality contracts to major sporting events like the World Cup, the Olympics, and the big NFL game that I'm not allowed to name for fear of trademark infringement. Our package included 3 nights at the luxury Davenport Hotel, hop-on, hop-off bus tickets, our game tickets, of course, and some major swag, including a base suitcase. They also hosted 3 Steeler fan-only parties, a welcome reception, a private party at the Guinness factory, and the most amazing tailgate I've ever seen. All the food was included, there was whiskey tasting, and you got 6 drink tickets, which honestly is enough alcohol in 2 hours. An hour before kickoff, Steeler Nation paraded together from the tailgate to the stadium to join the 75,000 football fans. 35% of those ticket holders, by the way, were from the US, and 30% were from Ireland, and the rest were from, everywhere else. A Steeler game for our family is always tense. And I grew up during the team's second golden era. Some of my best memories of being a kid were of watching the bus plow through the snow into the end zone, of Troy Polamalu flying across the field to tackle a receiver, and of my grandmother shouting that we need to fire Coach Cower. And now I get to add one magical game in Dublin to those memories, where my hero led the towel wave, the Guinness was only €8, and the Steelers beat the Vikings 24-21.